Hey everyone! Today, we're going to answer a question: how to actually stop a train in GTA games. We're going to start with GTA 3 and try to stop the train by any means possible. Then, we'll move on to GTA Vice City. Just kidding, there are no trains in that game. Next, we'll head to GTA San Andreas and start with small vehicles, moving all the way up to the biggest ones. After that, we'll do the same in GTA 4 and GTA 5, trying everything we can to stop the train. Stick around until the end, because you're going to see something extremely crazy that I'm sure you've never seen before. Let's get into it. First up, we're starting with the most basic vehicle, a car. In GTA 3, when you try to stop a train with a car, it doesn't go well. As soon as the car makes contact with the train, it flies off like it's made of paper. The train doesn't even flinch. So clearly, a basic car cannot stop a train, not even close. Next, we're moving up to something a little bigger, a truck. You'd think a truck being heavier than a car could at least slow down the train. Put a truck in front of the train, and it just gets pushed out of the way like it's nothing. The train doesn't even slow down. It continues its journey, unstoppable. So the trucks are not the answer. All right, it's time to bring out the big guns, a dodo plane. This is where things start to get interesting. Surely, a heavy plane can stop a train, right? Nope. Even though the dodo is significantly heavier than a truck, it gets pushed aside just like everything else. Now, let's get serious. What about the tank? But first, which one do you think is heavier, a plane or a tank? Let me know in the comments below. Surely, a tank can stop a train. Well, it's time to find out. But guess what? Even the tank can't stop the train. It gets pushed aside just like the others, and the train just keeps chugging along. It's clear that the train doesn't care how big or heavy the object in front of it is. It's on a one-way mission, and nothing is stopping it. Now, let's get a little crazy here. Maybe if Claude gets drunk, he'll gain some kind of superpowers to stop the train. Well, no, Claude may be a tough guy, but even after a few drinks, he's no match for the train. When you put him in front of the train, it just hits him head on. And yet, surprisingly, Claude survives the direct impact. If Claude can't stop the train, maybe a cop can. So, a cop chasing after Claude? The cop gets right in front of the train, thinking they'll stop it. Nope, train hits the cop and keeps going, as if it doesn't even care. The cop gets crushed, and the train doesn't hesitate for a second. Looks like the train doesn't have any respect for the law. Now, let's move on to GTA Vice City. In this game, Rockstar decided not to add any trains for some reason. Maybe the developers got lazy? Who knows? Anyways, let's move on to GTA San Andreas. Putting a car in front of the train can't stop it. The car is basically useless and doesn't even budge the train. So, let's try something a bit bigger. A bus. You might think a bus could at least hold its ground in front of a train, right? Well, think again. If you park a bus in front of a tunnel and try to block the train doesn't even hesitate. It just pushes the bus out of the way like it weighs nothing. Now, we're getting serious. You'd think a tank could stop a train, right? I mean, it's a massive armored vehicle. Surely it's heavier than the train? But once again, the train doesn't care. You drive that tank straight into the train, and the train just drags the tank along with it like it's a toy. Now, let's see if CJ can do anything to stop the train after chugging a few drinks. You might think maybe CJ can gain some superhuman strength or speed. But nope, the train just pushes him aside just like it does with every other vehicle. Weirdly enough, CJ slides on the train tracks like he is sliding on ice. There's a cop standing right in the middle of the tracks, and the train comes barreling down. The cop doesn't even try to get out of the way. And guess what? The train just runs them over without a second thought. It's clear. The train doesn't care who's standing in its path. It will keep going, no matter what. All right, let's go all in. What about this massive plane? Surely this will stop the train. But what? The train goes straight through the plane. It's like the train isn't even aware of its existence. It goes straight through the plane as if the plane's a ghost. Okay, let's think outside the box. Maybe a train can stop another train, right? Surely one can slow the other down. But nope, the train just goes straight through the other train without even bothering to collide. But what if we shoot the train driver? If there's no one to drive the train, it will come to a stop. After you shoot, the train driver's head just vanishes into thin air. And you know what happens next? The train actually stops. It just sits there, completely frozen, never leaving the station again. Now it's time to talk about GTA 4, the most realistic game in the series. First up, we try using a car. Well, the car can't stop the train, just like in all the other games. It gets pushed away with ease, but this time, the damage looks a lot more realistic. The front end of the car gets completely dented in, showing off some of the best vehicle deformation we've seen in any GTA game. Next, we bring in a bus. Surely, a bus should be able to slow the train down. Right? Wrong! The bus gets pushed out of the way, just like everything else. But again, the vehicle deformation is on point here. It looks awesome seeing the bus crumple and twist under the force of the train. Okay, let's try something a little more extreme. A helicopter in the train's way, but it too can't stop the train. Surprisingly, the helicopter doesn't blow up on impact, nor does it get dented. Now, it's time for the big guns. Nico drives a tank head-on into the train, thinking maybe, just maybe, this will do the trick. Well, it doesn't. The train just keeps going, and the tank doesn't even make a dent. The train doesn't care how heavy or armored the vehicle is. Nothing's stopping it. Maybe, if Nico gets drunk, he will be able to stop the train. But the truth is, after a few drinks, Nico can barely stand straight. He stumbles in front of the train and dies. What about the cops? The train doesn't stop for cops either. They get run over without hesitation. And now the train's got its own wanted level. No cop can stand in the way of this unstoppable force. Looks like the train's playing by its own rules, and nothing can stop it. Not even the law. What about putting another train in front of it? Maybe one train can stop another train. But no! The train just plows straight through the other one like it's not even there. You might think that shooting the driver trick will work to stop the train. But here's the catch. There's no train driver. After trying to shoot at the train, you'll notice that the train continues its journey without a hitch. It's almost as if the train is operated by a ghost. So, no driver to take out, and no way to stop the train this time. So we tried a lot of things, but nothing worked. If you have any idea how to stop the train in this game, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try it out. Now we move on to GTA 5. First, let's try a car in front of the train. But not only does the car get pushed away, it randomly blows up. No chance of stopping the train with that one. Okay, let's get serious. How about a rocket launcher? Surely that can make a dent. Nope, even though the rocket hits dead on, it doesn't leave a scratch on the train. The train just keeps rolling like it's invincible. Next up, we try to block the train's path with a bus. You'd think a big, heavy bus could at least slow the train down, but the train absolutely destroys the bus, sending it flying like it's nothing. The bus stands no chance. Even a fighter jet is useless against the sheer strength of the train. The train pushes the jet away with ease. Now, let's bring in the tank. This should surely be the one to stop it. But once again, the tank makes no impact, the train doesn't budge, and the tank is left helpless against its might. Maybe drunk Franklin is stronger than a tank. If he gets drunk and stands in front of the train hits him so hard that he dies on the spot. So now you know, drinking doesn't give you superpowers. Also, even a cop isn't able to stop a train, even when his life is on the line. Now, let's try shooting the train driver trick that worked in other GTA games. In GTA 5, this doesn't do anything either. You shoot at the driver, he goes to sleep, but the train keeps going, never stopping. Now it's time to stop the train. Let's see what happens. Franklin can spawn another train right on the tracks, but when the two trains collide, the second one gets sent flying like it has no weight at all. At this point, it's almost looking impossible to stop the train. The only time the train actually stops in GTA 5 is during the mission called Derailed, when it collides with another train and explodes. And that's it. Comment down below if you know any other ways to stop the train in GTA games.